Hello everyone and welcome again to my weekly video series. My name is Naveen Agarwal and I make these videos on a weekly basis to bring you the latest updates from the medical industry. Especially during COVID-19 where so much is going on. Medical diagnostics, other medical devices or treatment options for patients. Things are happening on a weekly basis. So it's difficult to keep up and the best way you can do that is by subscribing to my YouTube channel. You can find me on Google as Naveen Agarwal PhD, or you can look up the link for my YouTube channel that I'll give you as part of this video. Now, last week, I read a wonderful article in the New England Journal of Medicine. This article is written by Dr. Jeffrey Shuren and Dr. Timothy Stenzel of FDA CDRH. They are responsible for medical devices and in particular in vitro diagnostics. These are the diagnostic tests that have come out for COVID-19 diagnosis. And in this article, they are describing their insights and lessons learned over the last 6 to 8 months of reviewing and authorizing hundreds of these tests on an emergency basis. So it's very interesting to take a look at this article to understand FDA's thinking. But in this video, I will also talk about how you can use this information to guide your future efforts. If you are in the industry, this could be very useful to you. So let's just take a quick look. As a summary, 247 tests have been authorized by the FDA so far. 197 are RT-PCR tests. These are the molecular diagnostic tests that we're going to mostly focus on in this particular video. 46 are antibody tests, which are also called serology tests, and 4 of them are rapid antigen tests. I've talked about some of these tests in my other videos. You can find those on my YouTube channel. Here's the link to the New England Journal of Medicine article. It's on the top left. I'll also give you this link as part of the video. But I encourage you to read this article, which is very interesting. So here are some of the lessons that they are describing. First, establish a plan to share clinical samples with international partners. This is a global pandemic and a global collaboration is required. It was a big problem early on in our efforts to develop accurate, reliable diagnostics because clinical samples were not available. And if we had international agreements in place, we could have shared clinical samples with our international partners and bring these diagnostic tests to market in a much more rigorous, robust, quick way. Second, they are recommending to focus on a small number of well-designed, well-developed and validated tests run on common high-throughput platforms. Here the issue is efficiency and scalability. Not that different technologies are not useful, but in order to be more focused and more efficient in scaling up testing, it is better to focus on a small number of well-designed tests. Now, FDA's review docket has been flooded by many different EUA requests. So their resources are limited and they think that the resources can be best utilized if they focus on these small number of tests. Third, accelerate point of care testing using reliable mass manufacturing platforms. This continues to remain an area of great need. There are very few point of care rapid testing available and no test available for non-lab or at-home environment. So if you are thinking about developing a test and submitting an EUA, that area will get the highest priority and focus from the FDA. Common approach to validating test performance is important. FDA's thinking has evolved about this over time as they have gained more experience and they have learned more. They have come up with different recommendations in their test templates. So those templates have evolved over time. It is best to have a common approach across the board. Finally, clinical understanding of test performance and limitations in managing patient care. Doctors and physicians and other clinical folks have a lot of confusion about different types of tests that have come out. Their accuracy, reliability, the conditions under which they work best. As an example, rapid antigen tests are most useful within the first 5 to 6 days after onset of symptoms. Serology tests are most useful 2 weeks later, not early on in the infection. And still, such mistakes are happening in the field. And as a result, patient care decisions are being delayed and compromised. So this is an area of focus for the FDA to improve that clinical understanding in the field. So here are some of the high-level lessons that they are describing. What does it mean for us and how we can use this information in the industry? First, if you are working on an EUA, keep in mind that point-of-care testing and non-lab environment testing such as at-home testing will get priority at the FDA. So if you are focused on that, if you have an EUA that doesn't have that indication, you could continue to work and get that indication working with the FDA. Or you could develop a new test that will help bring that technology at point of care and in non-lab environment. Very, very big area of focus. Second, if you are taking a long view, think of the time when EUAs will expire. These emergency use authorizations will no longer be valid, and you will have to go through the normal review process that can take months and even more than a year, and it will require a substantial amount of information to show safety and effectiveness. It's best to start planning now. If you already have an EUA, you are gathering data from the field, have a plan in place. Look at the real-world data. FDA will be very interested in using real-world data to provide evidence of safety and effectiveness. And that can be very useful later on for you as you look for a 510(k) clearance for your diagnostic device. Third, if you are lucky enough that your test runs on a high throughput platform, make that platform better. Reduce the bottlenecks, improve its reliability and efficiency, improve the quality management system so that it continues to serve the need in the marketplace. And FDA is more receptive to additional indications on tests developed on those particular platforms. It can be a huge benefit for you. So these are some of the things you can look at. There's a lot happening, things are evolving. Okay, pay attention to the templates that FDA is providing on their website for different types of tests. There are several out there: antigen tests, antibody tests, which are serology tests, RT-PCR tests, non-lab environment tests. FDA has provided very, very clear guidelines, but they are changing over time. So keep an eye on them, review them frequently, and develop your validation protocol strategy based on those templates. So I hope this information is useful to you. If you like this video, I encourage you to visit my website www.exceedqm.com and sign up for my bi-weekly video series. That series is designed for my subscribers, where I provide more deep insights on a variety of topics: quality management system related topics, risk management topics, regulatory developments across the world. Whatever is happening, I talk about many different topics. So you can subscribe to that bi-weekly series. I want to hear from you. Let me know your questions and thoughts. Let me know what else you would like to learn about. Write to me, drop me a comment. I want to thank you for your interest and attention, and I hope all of you are keeping safe in this difficult time.